I'm making apple juice in my steamer juicer today. It's a great way to extract the juice out of the apples. And not only that, but I'm planning on using the pulp that's left over for making 4 different kinds of apple butter. So this is a great way to do it because when you're making apple juice, there's of course not a lot of juice in an apple. It's a little harder fruit. And so this makes it so that you're utilizing both byproducts. You've got the juice as well as the pulp that you're using. So it's my favorite way to do it. So in my juicer, I've got the basket that's at the top and it's got the holes in it, and that's what I'm gonna put my apple pieces into. And then I have the middle section that's got the tube that comes off, and this is where it's gonna collect my juice. And then I have the very bottom of it, which is where I have my boiling water that will make the steam. So I'm gonna put this on the stove while I'm preparing my apples, and I'll just put it on medium because it's gonna take me a little bit to prepare these apples. Oh, one other thing. Always make sure when you put this on that the clamp is on here and that it's nice and closed. It's horrible to have it start going and go all over the place. Now I have 24 pounds of apples, which will make about 6 quarts of juice. So I'm gonna run this through my apple core slicer peeler, and then I'll put them in the basket. If I was just doing juice and I wasn't worried about the pulp, maybe just feeding the pulp to my chickens or my pigs or what have you, then I would just have to quarter my apples. And then I just remove any bits of skin that the machine has left behind and any bad spots, and then I can throw it in the basket. The other thing to watch for is if there's the center there, sometimes it'll miss some of the seeds depending on how it lines up. If there's little bits of skin, it's not that big a deal. If I wasn't making butter, I wouldn't even have to worry about peeling them. I just feel like it makes much better use of my apples that way though. So pretty easy, just take off the ends. Sometimes if you have an apple that's more ripe, it'll split as it's going through, and that's okay. If there's ever a time where the seeds are still stuck in the bottom, I just cut those out. 24 pounds of apples is actually gonna take me 2 rounds in the juicer. So what I'm gonna do is I actually have another juicer. I kind of keep my eye out for them at garage sales because you can usually get them for good deals by people who don't even really know how to use them because it was their grandma who canned or something like that. But so I've got this all full. I'll put the lid on, I'll put it on my juicer. It's really best not to have it over full. Mine is cracked just a little bit, and so that'll compress down pretty quickly. And that will take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. The big thing, especially with the apples, because they take longer to get the juice out of them, is to make sure that the water that's in the very bottom doesn't run out, because if you go dry there, then you can actually warp your pan and damage it. So there is a ton of skin and cores here. I'll give it to my chickens or my pigs, but you could also add it into your compost or even make apple cider vinegar out of it. At this point, I'll check to see if the apples are really soft. If they mush really easily under a spoon, then I know that they're ready to go. I like to have a large pot on top of a table or a stool or a chair, and then I release my juice into it. I mean, it's just that simple. The hardest thing is just waiting. So usually I have other things I'm doing at the time. The only downside with using the steamer juicer is that sometimes it gives you a lighter, maybe a little bit diluted apple juice. If you want to avoid that, then apple cider is really your way to go. Maybe I'll do a video on doing the cider press at some point, but this is really easy. So it definitely has that benefit. And then of course I can use the pulp for my butters. So that's even better. Now I try to remember that everything is really hot right now. If I got this juice on me, I'd be hurting. So try to be careful about it. Generally speaking, this many apples is gonna give me somewhere around 6 quarts. It's looking like it's closer to 4 quarts today, but we'll have to see. That's the one downside. It seems like there's a lot of waste when it comes to making the apple juice this way, unless you're making apple butter. So generally speaking, I just always do them at the same time. The other thing I'll do is I'll check the temperature. So right now I'm at 186, so that's just a little bit lower than I need it to be. So I'll put it back on the stove and I'll bring it up to 190 and hold it there for 5 minutes. Now I fill up my quart-sized jars to 1/4 of an inch of headspace. Headspace is the space between the top of the food and the top of the jar. If you look at this, it really is kind of beautiful. That's one thing that I really like about the steamer method, is there's absolutely no pulp in it, and it's just a clean, clear juice. If you wanted to add any other juices to it or sugars, you would do that during the time that it was cooking. But I tend to like to do just pure apples. It is kind of fun to play with the different varieties though and see what variety of apples you like together. Today I'm doing Cosmic Crisp, so it's kind of a more tart juice. I like it though, because it's sweet and tart. So today I ended up with 5 jars, which is perfectly fine. And then the next thing I do is I just wash off the rims. This makes it so if any of the juice got on the rim, it won't interfere with the seal. And then I put my lids on fingertip tight. And then I'll place these in the boiling water bath at 10 minutes. If at sea level, I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'm gonna go for 15. Now that it's to a good boil, I'll set my timer. Now that the timer is done, I'll remove the lid and turn off the heat. I'll give it 5 minutes to cool down. I'll then place my juice on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool down a little bit faster. Now I'll leave them here for 24 hours. After that point, I'll come back and remove the rings and wash off the jars and lids with hot soapy water. I'll then store them in a cool, dry, dark location and use them within the next 1 to 3 years.